Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we are. This is the MLG
Oh, I'm here.
stream.
Sorry. I was like talking
back?
and yeah, we're good.
All right, awesome.
Welcome back, everyone. New York City offices here, MLG Studios. We got some more StarCraft for you.
That's right. Of course, today we're covering the StarWars League. Of course, this is a league with 16 players are in it. It's 4 of the best players from Korea,
Yes.
along with 12 of the best
Let's
from
just start
China
naming
and
some
Southeast Asia.
names here.
Just name
Parting, Maxed,
Yeah.
Sen, Nestea, Maru, Jim, Hero, Zigua, Moonglade, Calm, XY, Loner, Haas, Love CD, Iagus.
F91 is actually a cool guy.
F91.
F91 has probably more history playing StarCraft than anyone in this tournament besides Nestea.
Right.
I would say.
Yes.
Yeah. F91 was actually
Yep.
one of the top players in Brood War. From
He was knocked out. He was knocked out in this tournament. This started with the group stages. There are 4 groups of 4. And then the top 2 from each of these groups advance to the quarterfinals. We're going to watch the quarterfinals today. The first match you're going to see is going to be Parting versus Nestea. Group A, Parting and Maxed came out of that over Loner and Haas. Group B, Sen and Nestea. Group C, Maru and Jim. Group D, Hero and Zigua. So a lot of great players in the quarterfinals. And I think we should just jump on into Parting Nestea, if that's okay with you.
One last thing I want to mention about is this tournament is insanely competitive. First of all, you got a most recent GSO winner, and it's for a lot of money.
Yes.
It's for 10,000. I think first place is 10,000 US dollars.
$10,000.
That's not RMBs. This isn't fake currency.
Whoa.
Not that RMB is fake. It's amazing currency, but
it is.
It's obviously the last tournament NSL was for 10,000 RMB, which is like $1,400 for some of that. But this is the total prize pool is like 16,000, something like that, or 14, 15.
A lot.
I think 16,000. First place is 10,000, so it's a lot of money on the line here. You've got best from Korea and the best from China. Insanely competitive. With that being said, let's jump into Nestea versus Parting, game number 1.
Nestea versus Parting, of course. Nestea, everyone's gonna know this guy. He is the Zerg. He is the Zerg of Wings Liberty.
That's right.
He's probably the most popular player. One of the most popular players in Wings Liberty, without a doubt. Not only among Korea, but among the entire world. Like, if he went shopping in New York, he would get recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, I think he would.
Yeah, it's a fact.
There's a lot of people in New York. There's a lot of people who know about Nestea in New York.
It's Nestea, man.
Yeah.
Dude, if he walks around, people know.
You know what fruit dealer should do? Another fruit dealer should open a fruit stand in New York. There's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
And he should be the ultimate at dealing fruits, because that's his name.
There's a lot of competition on those streets, though.
You're right. It's
I don't know the ideal place to set up a fruit stand.
Yeah.
But that's pretty. I put it in the subway, I think. Are you allowed to? You're not allowed to solicit down there. I don't think.
So. No one's ever. I haven't seen him do it. Anyways, here we are, game number 1 on Neo Planet S.
Yep.
In the upper right-hand location, the creator of the universe himself, we have I Am Nestea.
It's the best of 3 guys, by the way. Keep that in mind. Of course, his opponent in the bottom left-hand location, your blue Protoss player. He is Parting. Nestea versus Parting. What a classic matchup we have here.
Yes. Parting, of course, now plays for a Kespa team. Joined SK Telecom 1 maybe 5 months ago. Formerly played for StarTale.
And that's pretty significant. For those of you watching who don't necessarily know about the whole structure in Korea as far as different teams and different organizations, there are 2 main factions, I guess, for lack of a better term. There's the Kespa, and then there's the ESF. They're both like basically league owners. They have a blanket of teams underneath them. And Kespa is considered the super serious. These are the guys who are living in million dollar pro houses. They're training every day for 8 hours. That's SK Telecom T1. And Parting got invited to that setting, which is kind of huge.
With a good salary as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's one of the higher paid players on the Kespa teams.
Was that? I think that was publicly released, wasn't it?
Yes. I think it was something like base salary without talking about any sponsored deals or any tournament winnings, anything like that. I think it was like 90-something thousand a year. It's just that's like minimum. If he loses everything, that's what he gets. And of course, if he wins stuff, I mean, like last year he won I think $250,000 in prizes alone, or 300. He won a lot of money. He won like 100,000 in loans from WCS.
And now, like 50% of our audience right now is wondering if they should take the path Parting took to get all that money.
If you're as good as Parting, yes.
Well, no one's going to be as good as Parting. You gotta get to that point, right?
Yeah. That's hard though.
So how do you do that?
Well, first you play all day.
Disagree.
That's not, well, that's one, maybe not first, but that's,
I think if someone is really serious in the United States about trying to be a pro, like, it's possible.
yeah,
I
it is.
think keep it at 2 hours a day, and then just slowly, if you like it, if you're having fun, keep doing it for 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day, and then start jumping in tournaments here and there. And then if you feel like investing more time to it, do it, but never feel pressure to do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you don't feel yourself getting a lot better
Yep.
over a small amount of practice, practicing more won't solve your problems.
Well,
It's something where it's like if you're already see you're getting better and you want
Yeah.
to get better a little faster, then you can practice more supplemented. But don't just assume.
I would
if
just
you put
like
in hours,
play
it's
the
gonna
game for
happen.
fun. Play the
Yep.
game for fun. Have fun. Just 2 hours a day. If it's getting not fun, then stop playing. Just listen to your
great-
body or whatever.
yeah,
Just
it's a
play
great
for fun. And if
mentality.
something happens, then something happens. If you turn pro, you turn pro.
So in this game, we have Parting going for a gateway expansion and following it up with a Stargate.
Yes.
Nestea, of course, has spotted us. He's getting double gas now off of 2 bases, so he's not going to have super fast early speed, but he is going for that gas before to third base. Of course, pretty typical against a gateway expansion, also opening with 4 early queens, so really focusing on that queen
Nice.
spread. It almost looks like a ZVT opening more than a ZVP coming out from Nestea.
I like a lot of queens. Actually, in any matchup, queens are very good. It's very easy to pay for themselves as the game goes along. Phoenix is going to be in production here from Parting. And I'm
Now-
wondering how many Phoenixes he's going to invest in here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's going to be the first one to chase away Overlords in the Scout,
Yep.
and then, some people stop at 1 or 2, and some people go to like 4. Usually you don't see more than 4.
Two.
I mean, they might get more later.
Yeah, he's not even saving it. He's just revealing right
Yeah.
away. Just wants to take down these Overlords.
That's kind of the I mean, the Zergling's already spotted this anyway, I think.
Oh, okay,
at
because
the
he put it in
front.
his, he
Yeah,
put it in
yeah.
his wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't want it. He's
Interesting.
not trying to hide it. I'm just trying to.
So how much does he make? 3?
He might go to 4. I
Okay.
can see him going to 4. Or I mean, it's either 2 or 4. I think it's typically what you do.
It's basically just something to do while you're really planning your
Yep.
game. Nothing he's investing a lot into. Just get some Phoenixes out to play around with, to mess with your opponent.
And looking at this game, if you look at the players, Parting is like the mechanically perfect Protoss, pretty much. Like, he's not going to make any mistakes. And so when you're looking at, like, early pushes, should favor Parting. His micro is so impeccable. And then in the late game, his late game control is very good, too. So I would favor Parting in the opening parts of this game and the late parts of the game.
Yep.
What Nestea can do is he can just make a ton of units and overwhelm his opponent. And so in the middle stages of the game, Nestea can be the guy to look out for.
Oh,
And especially be careful of Nestea switching to muteless.
Yes.
He does love muteless.
he loves it. Once he gets 4 bases, that's like it's auto
Yep.
muta mode.
This map
Start
isn't
saving that gas.
really the best map for muta, though.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
And Parting's already gone
This is
Phoenixes to kind
yeah.
of...
This is an interesting map. Like
It's hard to take a
there's
4th base. kind
sure,
of
and
defend it.
there's 2 pathways. So there's
Yeah.
like if you're thinking about counterattacking all the time, like Lings are basically going to be the go-to. And when you're making a lot of Lings, one of the natural transitions, one of the natural supplements is going to be the mutas. So
Yes.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Infestation
Now,
pit actually.
Yeah, going straight to Infestation
Oh.
Pit is Nestea. He's also getting to range attack. So
Is this a Stormhost then?
I think it probably is. It definitely looks to be that way. He's getting extra queens too, so it could be a Stormhost with Nidus, or it could just be spreading
Ooh.
creep out.
Now, does Parting know this?
Well, he spotted Infestation Pit just now with the Phoenixes, and he sees all
And
the extra queens.
Robo Bay immediately thrown down.
Yep, he knows exactly what's going on. Now, there's a third base here, so it's not like it's a Stormhost all-in play. It's
Yeah.
just straight to Stormhost as his unit composition,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
So right now, if we're thinking about what Parting is thinking, he sees the Infestation Pit, and when you see an Infestation Pit, you know it's going to be Swarmhost at this point. So he's making a Robo Base so we can get into Colossi. Colossi have really good splash damage, and they're able to take down those Locusts mildly efficiently. And he should also feel safe to take he might feel safe to take a third right now because he knows his opponent is teching pretty heavily.
He might. I mean, you could definitely start a third right now, but the question is it better get a third right now and then maybe be a little bit vulnerable to like a Swarmhost push?
Sure.
Or should he prioritize getting an army up that can deal with Swarmhost first?
Right away.
Because, he definitely wants to go towards Colossi as fast
Yeah.
as possible, but he also needs some supplementation for the Colossi because if he doesn't have any gateway units to support him, the queens alone can actually just walk through his army. There's a lot of queens out here for Nestea, and he actually built a few more as well. I think he's up to 8 or 9 queens in total. In fact, 8 queens in total. So a lot of queens here from Nestea, getting a Spire behind us as well. So we could see Corruptors help deal with the Phoenix and potential Colossi.
Oh.
I think Corruptors are more likely
Nice.
needed here. Oh,
He just picked off a Swarmhost. That's
Yeah.
huge.
great pick off there.
Yeah, Phoenixes are pretty darn good against Swarmhosts. And look at that, Aspire in production. That's pretty funny. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's for Corruptors more likely to meet
Yeah.
us here. With this many Phoenix
Oh my
out
god,
already.
look at all
Wow.
those drones.
Party is
Jeez.
getting so much damage done with these Phoenixes, and if you look at it now, he's actually has a supply lead.
Yeah.
No third base
He's
quite
gonna
yet from
attack.
Party. In fact, I don't even think he's going to think about third base. Still at 47 probes.
Wow, he's
War
going.
Prism's on the way. He has a single Colossus. No range on that yet, though, I don't
Yeah,
think.
you want to hit before Swarm Hosts get crazy. That's what he's going for right now. And he has a really good timing window where there's not a lot of Swarm Hosts out. Of course, a lot of... Oh, no. I think he lost like 4 Phoenixes there. Did he?
Yeah,
Did I missee that?
He lost one.
Oh, okay, lost one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Queens don't really kill them too fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's only a few Swarm Hosts so far. Observer's coming up now. He can try to kill this creep. Very important to keep the creep back when dealing with Swarm Hosts. More and more Swarm Hosts are coming forwards, and the Corruptors could be the big deal here. If his Colossus gets taken out, that's going to really impair his ability to deal with the Swarm Hosts as more and more Locusts get on the field. But he does have a lot of Gateway units as well. Warp Prism can warp in units about 8 at a time now. He can't warp in units on these ridges very well, so he's got to be a little bit careful to just make sure the warp ins are right on the high ground. Now he's pushing in. There's only a single Spine Crawler, but there's a lot of Transfuse available.
Oh.
Corruptors are trying to do what they can as well.
Good force fields. Locusts, though, getting some damage done. Nestea trying to desperately get as many Swarm Hosts on the field as possible. If he can get those Swarm Hosts out and be efficient with them, he has a chance to fend off this attack. 4 more in production, trying to get them burrowed. And at the same time, Parting is looking on isolating those guys so he can take him down officially. Also, he has an Observer in the back, keeping it a little bit further back. You want to be able to see your opponent's burrowed Swarm Hosts, but you also don't want to die to Queens or something.
A lot of Storm Hosts still in play, but Parting's army is still looking very strong. Another wave of Locusts is about to come out. Drones are trying to protect him. The Observer is still alive. Maybe that was the first thing that should have gone here. But Parting coming in with a beautiful timed attack.
Wow.
Nestea just not quite able to get enough defense up. It was one of those attacks that if he defended, he would have won. But Parting's timings are so powerful. They're great use of force fields.
And it was a reactive timing too. He saw the infestation pit. He knew exactly what his opponent was doing. He made that decision right there. Okay, let's make one Colossus and let's go. Let's take him out before he can get a lot of Storm Hosts out. Let's take advantage of this timing window, and it might be enough to finish off Nestea in this game 1.
It's still in a position where if Nestea can somehow push this off, even though he's lost drones, he's actually in a decent spot because he does have the Swarm Host, which will be cost efficient. But the problem is every time a Swarm Host is built, it just dies instantly before it can even really do too much. Now, the Infestation Pit is being focused down. That's going to be huge. There still are some Swarm Hosts rallying units in, but there's so much Protoss Gateway units on the ground. Even if he kills 1 or 2 Gateway units, they can warp in almost as fast as he can kill them.
2 more gateways being added on here. Parting is floating a bit of money, so he's wanting to spend that as fast as possible. Nestea at this point, thinking about game 2. How do you think Nestea will adjust in game 2?
Well, I love the strategy here. I think he just didn't quite, he wasn't quite able to back his Swarm Hosts up enough during the battle because as soon as you can tell the Protoss is committing and you really want to fight backwards at the Swarm Hosts, and he ended up losing quite a bit to the Protoss overwhelming him. Of course, other option, he could have just sniped the Observer and then that would have been the game pretty much. So I think a lot of it was a Corruptor usage. His Corruptors were just attacking Phoenixes throughout that engagement and not the Warp Prism, which had been the ideal target, or the secondary target, the Observer, or the third best target, which should have been the Colossus. But, he's actually still thinking he can still win this. His third base is under fire, but if you can defend that and if you can somehow overwhelm
Colossus!
his army,
Gotta get the Colossus! Oh my god, he lost the
Takes it out.
Colossus. How much does that matter? I'm wondering.
I mean, if he can beat this army,
Yeah.
Parting might mine out. Yes,
he keeps,
2 base and 2
yeah,
base,
that's
but
GG.
no,
He kept picking up Storm Hosts. He kept trying to Nestea, just being patient there or trying to do what he can to come back. It's so hard though. Like Parting did the perfect time to kind of exploit exactly what he was doing. So step 1 might be try to hide that.
Well, I think Nestea's build was fine against Parting's. In fact, I think most people would say that build is favored against that time attack. It's just you have to be to keep the Storm Hosts back. And then if you're going to invest all the money into Spire, all the money in extra Corruptors, because he could have had like 7 more Swarm Hosts there.
Yeah.
But instead he tried to get all these Corruptors out. You need those Corruptors to do something useful in the battle. And they were just attacking Phoenixes the whole engagement, which is... I mean, Phoenixes it takes a very long time for a Corruptor to kill Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yes, in theory, Corruptors are good against Phoenixes because Phoenixes don't kill them. But you don't want to invest in money that is just going to sit there and kind of waste its attacks on a target that's not going to go down fast. If you can get the Warp Prism, that ends the attack right there. It's done. If you can get the Observer, that ends the attack right there. And both of those are much easier targets than trying to kill 6, 7 Phoenixes at once.
All right, well, very well played there from Parting. He's going to take game 1 in this best of 3 quarterfinals of StarWars. Coming up next, it's going to be game 2. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with that game.